And as much as he introduced me as Craig Waterman, Cracker, everyone calls me Cracker. It's just a whole lot easier. Even Mum down the back calls me that, unless I'm writing shit, then it's Craig. I write a little bit of my own stuff, and I'm more of a, I guess you'd call a suburban bush poet. I don't get out in the bush as much as I would like, but I do have a couple of mates that own a sheep station up north that we get to whenever we can, and Warra Station, I think a few of you might have been there over the years, and bloody beautiful spot. The Oni and the boys up there, they do a fantastic job, and it's one of those fantastic places that it's got 52 kilometres of the beautiful Ningaloo coastline, and it's yeah, just one of those places that you've got your outback and you can go fishing all on the same day. Fantastic. And we spent a bit of time up there a few years back, spent about 2 months over a winter and helped to rebuild the old shearers' quarters that are about 100 years old. And I got to watch a bit of the goings on and the hardship that happens up on a sheep station. And I ended up writing this little poem called The Chosen One. The woolly heads need water, or there'll be no bloody wool. So every day we've got to make sure that the tanks and troughs are full. If the sheep don't get good water, there'll be no clip this year. No money to spend on food and clothes. Oh, hell, there'll be no beer. So each and every day the tanks and troughs, they've got to be done. It ain't no easy job though on a million-acre run. Well, now the motorbikes are broken and the horses all alone. But the tanks and troughs, they've got to be checked just the bloody same. So there's got to be a choosing. Someone's got to walk the track. They have to wander out, check the tanks and troughs, and then to wander back. So we called the station meeting to proclaim the chosen one. We sat around the homestead table and not much was said or done. The chosen one, though, knew it was them. It always bloody was. They slung a swag, grabbed a feed, gave a scowl and headed off. Out the gate, whistled up the dog and marched stormily down the track. And she's a bloody good woman, that missus of mine. Geez, I hope she makes it back. Now, as I say, I'm more of a suburban bush poet, because I don't get out as much as my darling wife's sitting just over here filming me. We have 9 children. So whoever's making the joke about there you go. Yeah, we don't take it to heart anymore. Yeah, we get all those questions like, don't you have a TV? Yeah, it's what we watch that's getting us into trouble. So, yeah, if you've got a question about why we've got 9 kids, like, are you Catholic? No, I'm careless. It's very simple. So anyway, when it comes to being in the suburbs, I've just got to find the other side of this one here, because I know it by heart, but I know I'll stuff it if I don't have that sitting in front of me. Obviously, there's a few retired people here that get out into the bush and have their time away, but once upon a time we all had a job, and some of you probably would have been stuck in offices day in and day out, and you needed to be out in the bush, and this is for all your family and friends that are still stuck in their office every day, and it's called Heart in the Bush, Soul in the Sea. Starts as a feeling that's hard to explain. You feel kind of trapped. It's like you're sort of in pain. It's a bursting desire, a need to escape from the city and suburbs. It's time for a break. But how do you get there? You have a family and job. You can't go without them. They feel bloody robbed. Well, you know there's an answer. You've been there before. Shut your eyes and smile and let your mind out the door. You'll soon be in places that you love to be. Just send your heart to the bush and your soul to the sea. And when you arrive there, you'll see nothing's changed. The raw power of nature in its mightiest rage. Be it thunder and lightning or a wave crashing down, whether you walk on the beach or through a small country town, swimming over a reef or waist-high in weeds, it's a feeling of freedom that just can't be beat. Your lethargy's gone and your pulse beats apace, and you suddenly remember that life ain't a race. It's that jubilant feeling you and nature are one, the waves and the sand, the bush and the sun. Then it hazes upon you, and it all seems a blur. The shake of your head and you're back where you were. The humdrum crawls back and the pleasure recedes. You've had a day in a moment of need. And if once again that trap starts to close, well, you know what to do. It's as close as your nose. Just take a deep breath and set your mind free. Send your heart to the bush and your soul to the sea. One more little quick one for you, and this is a sporting one. I've got a few Anzac ones and stuff down there that I'll do at another time, or if we don't run out of time later, I might get a chance to read a few to a few people. This one's about sport though. I've got a few sporting ones, and as you can see, my parents breed athletes. And but funnily enough, down the back there, Mum and Dad, they did breed one good athlete, and my young brother. Any Eagles supporters in here? Yeah. Muddy Waterman's my little brother. So and we've got a young Jake. He's on the list at the moment. Alec, unfortunately, who was on the list and got crook, he's starting to come good again. Did you go for a run again this week, Mum? Yeah, he's off running again, so we might get to see a couple of Watermans back in the Eagles jumper again. But anyway, back when Chris was playing, we all used to get very nervous as to whether or not he was going to get a game each week, and you know, sometimes you sort of you'd be really upset for him if you didn't get a game. But come finals time, you really, you know, it was one of the things. Everybody, the whole family was nervous, but you had to stop and worry about Chris. What was he thinking? And anyway, we know now how nervous he used to get. He said it was, you know, really bad. It was, you know, that ticking sound you'd hear was his clapper valve cutting off washers on selection night. So anyway, back in 2003, there was another young fella from our local area up there in Rossmoyne who had played for East Fremantle and been drafted by the Brisbane Lions, and they were about to go into their third straight grand final, and they'd won the previous two. And a young fella named Richard Hadley played 6 games for Brisbane through the course of the year, and he was in the mix for the grand final. And grand final day, we used to have these big parties with a big screen in Mum and Dad's back shed, the Ted CG down there, and it was like that one you've got down at the other end down there. And anyway, we were getting ready for it this day, and I thought, I wonder how young Richard's feeling, how he's served. Never had to pick up a gun or pull on a uniform, but my job is to make sure that the freedom that was fought for it, and the freedom that was hard won, I have to use that well. And I've got, as I say, 9 kids, the 2 eldest daughters over here, son's out working, other kids are off working today, playing sport and whatnot, and I make sure that they don't waste a moment of that freedom that was just, it's been given to us, and we've got to make sure we hang on to it. Yeah. Now, 2 years ago, I try and write something to commemorate Anzac Day every year, and again, as I say, it's just for reading normally with the mates and that, but a couple of them hit Facebook this year or in the last couple of years, and this one I wrote got fairly popular. It's called He's Been Gone 100 Years. I wrote it for the, obviously for the 2015 anniversary. 100 years ago he left us, gone off to fight the war. He sailed away from Albany, his last sighting of our shore. A family left behind him, hearts swelling out with pride, their freedom he'd be fighting for, with good mates at his side. His first fight was with the ocean, churning guts and gills of green. When at last they made their landfall, it seemed so calm, almost serene. On the dusty shores of Egypt, war still seemed so far away, but the High Command was planning, and he'd be the price they'd pay. He was drilled and he was trained by hot morning and balmy night, and he was loaded on the ship again. The time had come to fight. The ship stood off Gallipoli, the darkest hour before the dawn. He knew not then, but at sunrise, a legend would be born. The jagged cliffs and rugged shoreline were still too dark to see, but he'd come here to defend the turf, wherever he may be. The boats had almost landed when what broke loose was hell. Shells came down and bullets whistled past, and then the first man fell. The water was running red, Anzac blood was in the sand. He kept moving forwards with his mates, heroes, to a man. He ran across the Turkish sand, cover almost within his reach. Then a bullet took him in the chest, and he died upon the beach. The fighting went on around him, and many more men died that day. For him there were no final words, as there wasn't much to say. They buried him between 2 others, one from Sydney, one from Perth, and now he lays eternally beneath the Turkish earth. His spirit made it home though, and watches us still this day. You see, he paid a price for freedom he wants no one else to pay. So now it's been 100 years since he last stepped upon our shore. But this Anzac spirit, it is vigilant, so we can be free forevermore, lest we forget. If I may, when I put that one up on Facebook, a mate of mine whose computer was over in Queensland, he went and found my wife's great-grandfather's photo online. My wife's great-grandfather was a rifleman in the New Zealand Army, and he was actually, he went there, and he put the poem overlaid over this photo and sent it through to us with the comment that, look at Grandad's eyes as they came through. Now, I'm sure you've probably all seen the old photos of that day they sign up, they put them in their new uniform and they take that shot from here up. There's the headshot. I looked at Grandad's eyes and automatically this poem came to me. It's called The Shot. They took a simple photograph the day that he signed up, that steely glare full of resolve, yet he was just a pup. His uniform as yet unmarked, his slouch hat sat askew. Boy goes off to their man. He knows what he must do. The call that came from up on high, they handed him a gun, and he knew he'd not see home again until the job was done. When he returned, they all rejoiced and plied him with their thanks. The final salute they called at ease and dismissed him from the ranks. Now when you see that photograph, a story does it tell. A young man who served his country and escaped the tolling of the bell. But if you see that man today, you cannot see inside. You still just see that photograph, not the things that he must hide. The memories that all haunt him still of his mates that he has lost. To make one man kill another man, you cannot count the cost. So when you see him marching past, metal chest puffed out with pride, be assured he does not march alone, but with those he left behind. Let's be together. For those who have thank you very much. I'll try and finish on a happier note next time, but I just thought I'd get those out there for you. And if any of you are on Facebook, Tales from the Suburban Bush, go and find that page. I've got another 30 on there that you might like to have a look at. So, cheers, guys. Thanks very much. I'll see you at the next one, no doubt.
Thanks everyone for coming, and without you people, it wouldn't be a show. And I'd like to say once again, thanks Ross O'Malley for giving us the venue, and if you like to go and enjoy a drink now, you can, or you can come back to the